Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing a book review of The Lifespan of Starlight by Thalia Kalkipsakis, which I probably didn't say right. It's a really hard name to pronounce. And I was sent an ARC of this by Heidi Grant Egmont, Australia, so thank you very much, Heidi Grant. This book is set in the year 2084 in Melbourne, Australia, actually. And this is the first book that I've actually read that is set in Melbourne, Australia. And seeming I've just recently moved there, it was really cool reading about things like Footscray and the State Library and other like Ballarat Road, like places that I know. And 3 teenagers discover their ability to time travel. And so at first they can only master a few seconds. However, that changes and soon they can master into however long they want. However, time jumping is dangerous and it's illegal in this world, especially for our main protagonist. You see, she isn't illegal in this world. When she was born, her mother wasn't married and her father is not around. And so when that happens, the child isn't allowed to be born, and if the child is born, then it gets taken away. However, the mother didn't want that to happen, so she let the child live on and she became illegal. Now, the issue of this is that every person in this world is assigned a chip, and this chip allows you access to food and water and everything. So she's been living with her mother on half portions of her mother's rations. And through this book, the main protagonist also comes across a chip of a dying girl, and she takes this chip, which has implications on its own accord. So you kind of have 2 stories kind of going on here in this one story. I like this book, but I did have some issues with it, which I'm going to talk about now. The first being that the main protagonist is meant to be 14 years old. However, she doesn't act like it. She seems to be 15 or 16 at minimum, and it keeps, going on about the fact that she's 14, and in no way in hell is this girl 14. The way she thinks, the talks, acts is just not the way a 14-year-old girl acts. So that was the first issue I kind of had with it. The second is the time jumping. After you time jump, you're meant to be in a blissful state when you come back, and it was just meant to be magical. However, that was never explained to us, especially when the main protagonist first jumped. I thought it would be explained to us how that feeling felt, but it never was. So that was really annoying for me. The 2 main guy characters in this book also really annoyed me in the actions that they did. Sometimes, to be honest, they could be quite assholes. And while I get they're teenagers and that's what they can do, especially when in the world that they're in and what they're brought up to believe, but then they can suddenly fix it just like that. It all seems a little bit too convenient when they just fix it and the issue's not brought up again. I don't want to talk about the issue because I don't want to get into spoilers, but yeah. I also couldn't connect really to any of the characters. The only thing I really loved about this book was the mother and daughter relationship throughout it. You don't really get to see a lot of mother and daughter relationships in YA books, and so I really enjoyed reading about this one. I loved seeing how the relationship worked. So this book was a bit iffy for me, and I honestly wasn't sure if I was going to pick up the next book. But then this book ended on a cliffhanger, and I need to know what's going to happen next. Like, I seriously need to know what's going to happen next. This is one of those cliffhangers. So overall, I'm rating this book a 3.5 out of 5 stars. You could tell the author had put a lot of thought into this world and the detail, but at some aspects it just fell flat, and especially the fact that she was meant to be 14 and she didn't act like it, and sometimes what the characters did and how they were a little bit like hard to connect to were just some issues with me, but hopefully that's fixed in the next book. As I said, the cliffhanger is the main reason that I'm reading on to the next book, because I really want to know what happens there. Like, I need to know. I'd love to know in the comments below if you have read Lifespan of Starlight and what you thought of it. And like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you'd like to see more book related videos from me, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye!